This week I'm flying with low-cost Canadian carrier Flair Airlines from New York's JFK Airport to Toronto Pearson. I take a tour of JFK's 27-year-old Terminal 1, discover the delights of the Air France business class lounge, and finally find proper hash browns in the United States. Yes, I was quite excited.
Well, a very good morning from a wet, windy and freezing cold JFK's Terminal 1. Today I'm flying up to Toronto Pearson with ultra-low-cost carrier Flair Airlines. Can't wait to do this one, it's going to be quite an exciting one, and from Toronto we're flying back to Dublin in another trip report with Aer Lingus, and then from Dublin to Leeds Bradford with Emerald Airline, a subsidiary of Aer Lingus. So lots of trip reports to come. But without further ado, let's get inside and get this trip started to Toronto Pearson.
Our journey begins inside JFK's ageing Terminal 1, where Flair Airlines operates its check-in desks from Zone B. They share this terminal with several other carriers, including Swiss and Air France. Now, I tried several times to check in online, but the website proved to be completely useless. It took me around 5 attempts and more than 30 minutes of my time, as the system was painfully slow. Eventually though, after multiple error messages, I was finally able to retrieve my boarding pass. Keep in mind that Flair Airlines charges between $16 and $30 per person per flight if you decide to check in at the airport. Think of a business model similar to Ryanair's. For this one-way economy ticket, I paid around £179. Flair Airlines offer 3 fare types when booking: the bare bundle, the basic bundle and the big bundle. I went with the basic bundle, which included one personal item, a 10kg carry-on and a 23kg checked bag. After confirming I was good to go at the check-in desk after the numerous errors I'd received whilst checking in, I stopped to take a look at Alice Aycock's 1998 sculpture called the Star Sifter. It's rather odd, and despite plans by terminal operators to remove it back in 2012 to make way for new food outlets, a federal court injunction blocked its removal, highlighting its cultural and aesthetic importance. Art lesson over though, I cleared security in about 5 minutes, and the airport was really quiet at this early hour. It felt a bit like I was in Tom Hanks's The Terminal. With Priority Pass though, I was able to access the Air France business class lounge, though no Flair Airlines ticket includes any lounge entry. The lounge is mezzanine style with an upper and lower floor, but as capacity was so low, they were only using the lower floor at this time of morning. To the left is a small exhibition on Anthony Quinn, who was best known as an Oscar-winning actor, but also a self-taught and prolific visual artist, producing expressive paintings, sculptures and lithographs throughout his life. Now, the downstairs is quite small, but it's light and airy with some views of the airport. To the left, a free-flow buffet, in the middle a drink station including alcohol, and to the right, the main seating area. The Wi-Fi was super fast too, about 175 megs down. On the drinks front, there was a coffee machine producing all the usual suspects, teas from Palais d'Hôtesse, a fridge full of soft drinks including Diet Coke, full fat Coke, Sprite, Canada Dry Ginger Ale, bottled Heineken and cans of White Claw. There were several red wines on offer, Joseph Perrier Champagne and Prestige Chateau de Mars on ice, a variety of spirits including Chateau Montefort Cognac, and more including Blurry Moon Gin. This was really nice. Finally, there was filtered still and sparkling water on tap, and fruit juices in the fridge. On the breakfast front was porridge and cereal pots, a selection of cheeses and cold cuts with nuts and dried fruit, and there was also yoghurt pots and fresh fruit salads. On the countertop were a selection of oranges, bananas and some very, very shiny apples to complement a hot food offering of fresh French bread, bacon or something that resembled bacon, some rather underdone sausages, scrambled eggs, hash browns and French toast. And yes, proper hash browns. I've got a very good friend of mine who'd be super glad to see these. There was also a beetroot salad, olives, cornichons and a selection of dressings. To the left of this was a selection of dressed salads and accompanying items including this really good goat's cheese. Finally, bar snacks and nuts were also available. After a relaxing drink or two and a small snack, I checked the departure board and noticed that my Flair Airlines flight was now top of the list. so I headed in the direction of Gate 4. After arriving at the gate along with lots of other passengers, Flair Airlines decided to announce a delay due to the inbound flight being late. Why did they leave this 30 minutes before boarding to announce? They then took this time to be extra stringent with baggage, asking customers to place it inside their sizing guide, something worth noting if you intend to use Flair. After about a 40-minute wait though, we were on the way and down the air bridge to board this 737 MAX 8. The cabin is very reminiscent to that of TUI's old seats, a blue leather style seat in a 3-3 formation. My home for this flight, seat 8A, right next to the window. This seat was available to select during the booking process, completely free of charge.
So all aboard this Flair Airlines flight up to Toronto, about an hour flight time today. Bit chaotic boarding process though. We were told to queue up because boarding was going to start, then suddenly told it was pushed back to 20 to 11. So our new departure time is 11:10 or 11:09 as it says on the board, but they've said it's 11:10 and we've only just started boarding now and it's about 10 to 11. So I am sceptical they'll get us in the air by then, but we shall see. But it's a 737 MAX 8, it's quite an airy light cabin, it looks quite nice. Seats are relatively comfy but legroom is a bit sparse, it's quite tight, but for an hour flight we should be okay.
A strange contrast, an airline dubbing itself as an ultra-low-cost carrier, still printing in-flight magazines for every passenger. The seat has a manual window blind with quite large windows. I'm always a sucker for a window seat. In the panel above are individual air vents and personal reading lights, and unlike other low-cost carriers, Flair's seats do recline. There's the usual tray table and a rather extensive food and drink offering too. With that though, it was time for us to push back and get airborne, and at this part of the flight we were running around 45 minutes behind schedule. the cruise, I had a dilemma: pay $14 Canadian for a pizza and a can of Coke, or try and catch up on a bit of sleep. Yes, the sleep one. But whilst I drift off for 20 minutes or so, let me take you on a brief flashback on the history of Flair Airlines. Flair Aviation, or Flair Airlines as it's more commonly known, might be one of Canada's youngest low-cost carriers in the public eye, but its story stretches back further than many realise. Founded in 2005 as a charter operator based in Kelowna, British Columbia, Flair Aviation, now Flair Airlines, began its journey flying cargo and private charters. In 2017, Flair made a bold pivot. It acquired New Leaf Travel Company, a low-cost travel brand that had struggled to take off. With that, Flair entered the ultra-low-cost carrier market, offering stripped-back fares and a la carte pricing, much like Ryanair or Spirit Airlines. It was a gamble, but it marked the beginning of Flair's rapid rise. The airline moved its base to Edmonton and quickly expanded across Canada. Its slogan? Plain and simple. Today, Flair operates a growing fleet of Boeing 737 aircraft, including the newer MAX variant, serving over 35 destinations across Canada, the US, Mexico and the Caribbean. From humble charter routes to a disruptive force in budget travel, Flair Airlines is redefining how Canadians fly, one ultra-low-cost fare at a time.
A super short flight. We're coming in now. The visibility is really low though. We're not able to see anything at all on the descent, so don't think I've not been filming anything. If you have a look now, it's just completely and utterly zero. So hoping the weather's a little bit nicer under those clouds, although I'm not filled with much confidence. I imagine it's going to be a little bit worse than JFK, but we're coming into land now. Hope you've enjoyed the trip, and stay tuned because there's more flight reports coming from Toronto after this one.
Welcome to Toronto Pearson International Airport. The local time is approximately 12:33 p.m. For your safety results, for the safety of the passenger seated around you, please remain seated with your seatbelt securely fastened, cabin bag securely stored until the aircraft has come to a complete and final stop at the terminal building, and the captain has to shove the fasten seatbelt sign. Mobile receiving and transmitting functions may not be used. Please ensure you have all your personal belongings with you upon leaving the aircraft, and use caution when removing articles from the overhead bins, as the contents may have shifted during the flight. Please be reminded that smoking is not permitted in your designated smoking area. If you're requiring assistance upon deplaning, please remain seated. We'll be happy to assist you once the aisles become free. On behalf of the captain and the entire flight team, thank you for traveling with Flair Airlines. Once again, welcome to Toronto. This is home, welcome home. If this is not your final destination, wish you a safe journey. And if you are staying in Toronto, wish you a good stay here in Toronto. And once again, thank you for choosing Flair Airlines for your travel on city. And how are you? Good afternoon.
Flair Airlines might not offer luxury, but it delivers exactly what it promises, an affordable way to travel from A to B. While the 45-minute delay and rather limited legroom weren't ideal, the overall experience was safe, straightforward, and great value for the price I paid. If you manage your expectations and understand the ultra low-cost model, then Flair Airlines can be a smart choice for budget-conscious travellers who just need to get there without all the frills. As a smaller YouTube channel, I really rely on your support, so if you enjoyed this video then please consider hitting subscribe and turning on notifications so you don't miss any future content. And a big thank you from me for being part of the journey.